Welcome, and you are watching yet another episode of the Collabora Hub podcast, the number one podcast for freelancers, entrepreneurs, marketers, and anything in between. I am, as always, excited about today's episode because I have somebody who is going to teach us quite a number of things about sales and why playing small is literally not serving you. The name of my guest for today is Chidi, who is an international business speaker, an entrepreneur, a business mentor, a sales coach, and the founder of Iconoclass and Nomayin Deliveries. I hope I said it correctly.
Yes, correct.
Welcome, Chidi.
Thank you.
We're
Thank you for
so
having
honored
me.
to have you today.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't
Right.
wait.
Let's get started. So I'm very excited about today's topic because this is something that I feel like I've suffered from for quite a while, which is playing small. I've always just kept it safe. I've always just kept myself hidden, did just the bare minimum just to get by. But I want us to talk about why playing small is not serving you or is not going to serve the next person that's watching today.
Okay. Can I ask though, right?
Yes,
I know
you
this is a bit off script, but why do you think you've always done that? Why do you think that has been your pattern? And why do you think that has been kind of your way of life?
I think it's a mindset thing. And also probably because of the environments that I've been in, I've sort of been conditioned to play small. Don't do too much, otherwise you intimidate others. Don't do too much, otherwise you'll lose friends. Don't overstep in certain environments, otherwise, people might not like you. And I think I was a chronic people pleaser for quite a long time in my life, and that might have had an effect on it, where I was just comfortable with being a smaller version of myself, just so that everyone around me can be happy and shine while I'm just in the shadows in the corner.
Whoa.
But sometimes it doesn't serve you for real because just thinking about my personal journey, I could have achieved more in my life had I been more out there, more visible, more outspoken, more present in certain spaces. My life would definitely look a lot different than it does right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I asked this question because I've realized that all of us have the same answer to it.
Scary, isn't
One
it?
way or another. You understand? We all have the same answer to it. And that becomes a problem because, not a problem, in my line of work, that's great because, because of the experience that I've had with mentoring,
Sure.
with speaking, with just conversing and helping people, is that then you can realize that, okay, not always, but most times, because it's the same thing, right? Or it's the same reason, right? There's similar ways to deal with it.
Sure.
So we've created like a whole framework of how to deal with it, right? Because as you said, we are conditioned to be that way. It's our environment, right? So the first thing is conditioning and environment. The second part would be, what would other people then say? You understand? And speaking to that, I feel like you have to be a little bit insane to not want to people please. You understand? I also was a chronic people pleaser for a long time. Thank God.
Nice to meet you, fellow chronic people pleaser.
Well,
X,
actually,
X.
yes, yeah. So I was a people pleaser for a very long time, and there's this moment that I realized that it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
But also, I speak about my mom a lot. Someone said that, but it's because of my mom. You understand? She had this thing where she understood that you can only be great in life if you make people believe that you're great.
Absolutely.
So remove the focus from, I want people to like me, to I want people to think I'm great. And a lot of times that means going out of your comfort zone, thinking bigger. You understand? A lot of my life, I think, has been disappointing people in the sense that I have to first deconstruct or reconstruct the whole notion of, don't think of me as this individual that's trying to fit in.
Yeah.
Think of me as this individual that's trying to be great. And it's not an ego thing. It seems like it. It's not. It's a self-alignment thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I sound like
Ooh,
Jay
that
Shetty.
is cool. You do.
Oh,
But that was quite a huge mindset shift because I felt a lot of pressure, like literally drop from my shoulder where I'm not doing it to be liked. I'm doing it because I want to build something great. I want to be a great individual that does great things. So if you shift the focus from people and you bring it back to you,
You
It's
you understand, and it's a God thing as well.
oh,
I'm a believer.
same,
I love God with everything in me.
same.
But if you think about it and you look at every individual that you can read about in the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
you see that to a certain extent, firstly, they were probably insane. Paul was very insane. Moses, very insane. All these people were somewhat insane. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And if you go down and you start to like go deeper into what that means, it
Yeah.
means that when God calls you for something, in most times it's not going to align with what other people think or the
Yeah.
vision other people have for you. I did law, right? I graduated, got my LLB, and after that I don't know where my degree is. I haven't seen it ever
Hectic.
since I
So
graduated.
you sacrificed like what, 3-4 years,
Yeah,
and
nothing.
hectic.
So that's the problem for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You understand? There's a problem for my banker. My banker looked me in the eyes. She said, "You're crazy." My family members told
Yeah.
me, leave this small business thing you're doing and start continue your law degree, right? But I've realized that people will not see what you see even if they're looking at what you're looking at.
True.
You understand? So they don't see the vision that I have for myself or for my family. They don't see the vision that I have for the world and how I want to shape the world in my little corner. You understand? So all of these things just tie in once you get your positioning right. So I didn't speak about the environment aspect, right? So the environment aspect is very simple. You have to leave.
Oh,
It's that. That's it.
did God send you?
I
I feel like he's
I hope
speaking
so.
to me. Hectic.
But you have to leave. If you're in a room that, if you're in a room that doesn't allow you to grow, you are doing not only a disservice to yourself, you're doing it to God,
Sure.
but also you're doing it to the world that God has called you for. You understand? So, in the whole way, all of us, if you are playing small,
Yeah.
it's because, like, in some way, you are disrespecting us who are waiting for your calling. We need you in this world. We need you to show up, because in your showing up, I get the ability to show up. I get the courage to show up.
Sure.
Now, you following your dreams leads to 10 other people following their dreams, leads to 50 other people following their dreams. Now you've created a whole movement. You won't even know, but you've done it. And that's why I do what I do.
powerful. That is so powerful. So I'm curious to know, because you've also touched on the fact that you've also played small at some point in your life. Yeah, can you tell me about when it is that you realize that this is not for me, not my environment, this is not my portion. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to step out of this and step into the greatness that God created me to become.
I remember I think it was 10 a.m., 10 p.m., I mean.
You even remember timestamps.
Yeah, I do.
Hectic.
I do. That's how hectic it was. I'm in night prayer, right?
Okay.
I'm still in uni. I'm in night prayer, and I get this vision, right? To those who don't believe, it's fine. It's fine. It happens. I get this vision of me. Even remember what I'm wearing, right? I'm standing in a crowd of people. It's like a huge arena. I'm holding a mic, and I'm saying something. You understand? So I remember something in me clicked. Call your mom. I call my mom. I'm like, I don't think I want to do this law thing
Oh.
anymore. And she's like,
Not
oh.
happy.
she was shocked because last time she checked, this is what I've always wanted to do. You understand? So
Or what you thought you wanted to do.
what I
you were
thought.
conditioned to do.
Exactly, literally. So I remember calling her and she was shocked. But I told her, I was like, yeah, this is not what I want to do anymore. And then I call a friend of mine, not friend, he's a mentor of some sort. And, well, he's my spiritual father. Yeah, that's what I call him. And I called him and he said that, and I told him the same thing. And he said, are you sure? I said, yeah. He's like, okay. From that moment, again, my environment, my mom was shocked, but she was very supportive. But in that moment, my environment gave me the courage to move into a different mindset. So you understand? So I was playing small in the sense that I was already planning, okay, after uni, this is what I'm going to do. This is how it goes. But actually, that's not what I want to do. That's not how I want to live. I want to build a business. I want to build a corporation that dominates the whole world.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do, you know? And it's in that moment when I remembered that again, it's not a disservice only to me,
Not to the world.
to God,
And
and to the
God.
world. Exactly.
Absolutely.
So that's the moment. I'd say. I think did I
Yeah.
answer your question?
You definitely did.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious to know, like, did you experience any criticism at some point from people who felt like, you want to build a big corporation? No, we can't do that. We don't do that. That's out of your reach. It's impossible, because apparently certain things are kept aside for certain people,
Yeah.
So did you experience that throughout your journey, or were the people in your environment supportive of your decisions? How did that look like?
Very difficult. It's a very difficult thing. My mom's gonna watch this. But
It's just for awareness purposes
yeah.
and to heal our generation, I guess, from limiting self beliefs, if
Yeah.
anything.
So it's
I think
important.
that's why we're having the conversation. Just because there might be somebody who's watching right now and has all these big dreams, but is probably scared to take that step because it feels too big for them, or it doesn't look like, or they don't look like somebody who could build something like that. A big corporation, like I know in our day and time, it's possible, definitely, but back then, with our parents, and that's probably why they always conditioned us to lead the safe route.
Yeah.
Go to school, get your degree, go get a job.
2.5 kids.
Don't do too many risky things. Start a business. Why? That's risky.
Yeah.
Yes. So, how is the response? Without mentioning any names.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good. Well, my mom was very supportive, but it was everyone else outside,
Yeah.
For my father's side, I remember my uncle once said that this is not what we do. It's not a Nigerian thing to do, right? And I went to a point where I had to cut some people off. Yeah, because I had to protect what I believed God had placed in me. That's why I told you that the environment thing is easy. You just have to leave. Because I believe that what I have, I truly believe, okay, now I'm getting comfortable.
Love it.
But I truly believe that we all have something that we've placed that makes us different, unique, right? I truly believe that I have a mind like no other, and definitely a God thing.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's not a me thing. It definitely is a God thing. But if I have something like that, something so special, something so something that can truly change the world, why would I let the people who have lived their lives, have made their own decisions, dictate how I want to live mine?
Yeah.
Why would I do that? You understand? Again, disservice. Huge disservice.
Yeah.
I couldn't allow myself to do that. I couldn't, even some friends of mine, like there's a friend of mine who also said that I'm still doubting that you can do this. You understand?
You need to change your circles.
No, not from a bad place.
Yeah.
But I also understand that he also was conditioned just the way I was. You understand? So he's no different. He's also been through the same things. We went to the same high school. You understand? So we're conditioned the same, and it's my duty then to live out, to show everyone that you can do this with a business. You don't have to go to uni. I'm not saying like education is important. Please. But
stay in school.
Please stay in school. Please. But that's not the only way to make it. That's not the only life that we are allowed to live. Life is so much bigger.
It absolutely is.
It's so much bigger. I realized that when a person that I know told me that they are chartering a private jet. Like, what? What do you mean?
And also, if it can happen for that person, why
Why
not
not?
you?
Exactly.
We're all
So
living in the same world.
with
We're
the same,
built the same.
you understand?
The only thing that makes us different is our mindset.
Exactly. And my father used to say,
Yeah.
a man has hands like I do, has legs like I do. Why can't I do that? Why can't I have that car? Why can't I have that dream? And that's it. So, yeah.
I like that. So, what did it look like for you when you had to shift your mindset from being in survival mode and now transitioning into being this person of expansion and thinking beyond what your environment says you can do?
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof, that's a good question. Wow. It was a very messy process.
Mm.
You have to die a lot. Yeah. Who you are has to change completely.
Mm.
But before you get that, you have to understand that you can change. That's a
True.
time that many people don't, that's a moment that many people don't get. I think it's Elon Musk, and he says many people don't change their mind, they just die.
Mm.
Yo, keeps me up at night. So,
And the thing is, that version has to die because it will keep resurfacing and keep visiting.
self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
So that's why it has to
It
die.
has to die.
And death is painful, whether it's metaphorically or not. It's still death, and it's still painful. So I had to go through that moment of constantly dying and being aware that, because see, thing is, if you don't change, you won't reach the place you want to reach.
Absolutely.
Because if you want to, let's say there's a how can I put this? There's a gap between who you are and who you want to be, right? And all you have now is because of who you are right now, right? And the closer you get to who you want to be, the more this version has to change to match what you want. You understand? So this process requires you dying. Every level has its own devil. So it's a process, right? So you'll go from, for me, I went from, okay, the traditional route, let me get a job, whatnot, that had to die. With that dying, it meant that I have to go through like a whole reconstruction, like mindset change. Took me weeks of not sleeping. Yeah, because I had to change that, right?
Yeah.
Then time went, I changed that. Now I have a business. Now I have to get to become a person who can take his business from a small business in the township to a multi-global business. I have to die. I'm dying right now, right? Because it's difficult. I have to die not morally, but in the sense that
Certain habits have to die.
have to die.
Yeah.
Exactly. Habits have to
Can't
die.
sleep until 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Now. It doesn't make
Exactly.
sense.
I mean, I've never
Rest,
done that.
sure.
But I mean, my mom would flip because what? No child of mine is going to sleep until
know.
12. But yeah, there's a lot of death that is taking place right now. There's a lot of death that has to take place for you to change. I won't say it's easy,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't be, because
Absolutely.
what is worthwhile that's easy?
True.
Whatever. Yeah, you get that, right? So it shouldn't be easy, and you should get used to that. There's beauty in the difficulty.
Love
That is what I'm seeing right now.
Love
Am I
that.
dying? Yes. Is it painful? Yes. Do I cry sometimes? Maybe. But
It's a safe space for people.
thank you. But ultimately,
Yeah.
we have to die.
Ultimately, we have to die for that new version to be born.
Exactly.
I love that. I watched a recent video of yours where you were sharing about AI tools and the emergence of AI. And I know that Iconoclast ultimately exists to help businesses integrate systems to help manage their business more efficiently. So can you tell me a little bit more about how that business has changed other businesses? Because that's something that's not very common. We see a lot of creatives and business owners and entrepreneurs building businesses, but there isn't necessarily the right systems and infrastructure set in place. For example, a lot of us are just winging it. And when I say a lot of us, me included sometimes, but I'm working towards it. And I'm hoping that I can learn from your journey and from what Iconoclast does, and maybe incorporate some of these, aspects into my own business. So how do I build a system? Can I use AI? Can I integrate AI into my business? How can I use it to make my business better?
Great question.
Just from a generic point of view,
Okay.
what are some of the most essential things to think about when you're building a business? Yeah.
So the first part, so I'm just going to go at it. I'm going to answer your question as I'd facilitate a conversation with
Sure.
one of the consultants, right? So the first thing would be, do you know your business? It sounds right. It sounds like, obviously, it's my business. But I've realized that a lot of entrepreneurs don't know their business like to the finest detail. You understand? You should know for me right now, I know how long a person takes, because I run a last mile delivery business.
Okay.
How long it's supposed to take for a person to order, right? It's supposed to take this amount of time, and then the delivery process is supposed to take this amount of time. Like, I am data focused, I'm data centric, right? A lot of entrepreneurs don't know that. They don't know how much they make, they don't know how much they spend. Those are the basic parts. So the first part is to know your business, know how your business works. Again, a lot of people don't know that.
True.
Exactly. Once you know that, and you should write it down. Please write it down. Because if you don't write it down, it's in your head. Whatever's in your head, come on,
Forget.
relax. You understand? It's very difficult to bring something forth if it's just in your head.
True.
So write it down, right? So that's the first part. Know your business. Know every process, every aspect, in detail, right? That's the first part. The second part is then take whatever you've written down, make it a process. So step 1, this is what happens. I speak to a client. Step 2, the client orders. Step 3, you understand? Go, make it a process. And then you take yourself outside of the process. So usually, most of us, we are the process. You understand? I'm sure that's the case with you as well.
It's killing us. When I say it's
Destroying
killing
us.
because all the time and effort that you spend into being the process
You forgot
takes
to see
away.
the business.
Yes, exactly. So you need to build something that you're able to give to somebody else and say, "Here,
Exactly.
you execute," while I
Exact-
focus on.
Man, you get it. You get it. That's it.
Yeah.
You understand? You want to come to a point where you can give the entire business to someone and say, run it. That's what you want, right? Maybe not actually doing it, but you want to be able to do it.
Yes.
You understand? So write down your process, make it a step-by-step thing, and then remove yourself. How do you remove yourself? Let me infuse AI then. So with me, I don't answer emails anymore. Yeah.
Tell me more about that. Okay, that's going to be the next thing we need to talk about.
Okay. So, before AI, it started as an actual personal assistant.
Okay.
I told myself there are things that I don't want to do as a business person anymore because I have to focus on bigger things, right?
Yes.
And I can't do that if I'm part of the process. So that's aspects. So you find places in which you can, firstly, before going to AI, find parts in your business, in your process, where you can replace it with someone, right?
Yeah.
Just write it down. Here, someone else could come in. Most of us don't have the money to do that. But right now, I was looking at this directory. Someone made a AI directory. It has all the agents and AI models, whatever, on it. And you can just search for what you want. Productivity, you find all of these. And some of them are free. They say it. Free or not. You understand?
Yeah.
And then once you've realized, or once you've highlighted, these are the people that can come in, then you remove the people. Unfortunately, this is the new world. You put AI, right?
Yeah.
What AI can do this? There's a lot. I am sure you can find something that does something.
I hear
You understand? And if you look, you'll find. So I love to read.
I hear you.
I love to read. I love to research. And you have to be that as an entrepreneur. So that's what I was doing. A lot of my personal brand is AI focused right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how you infuse it. And once you've figured those out, right, to cut things short, that's like the main part. But once you figure that out, then that's a system. You understand? It's not this big thing it's just how does your business work? And then just run it through that process, see if it works. If it doesn't, if this is taking longer, if this is taking slower, if this takes more time, then change it. But that's what a system is.
Yeah.
And you won't do that. You won't get to the point of refining your system if you're not outside of your business.
True.
So yeah.
And I think that also, if you don't have any systems in place, you're also not able to scale.
At all.
Because imagine if you're struggling with one client right now, imagine you get 100 inquiries. Are you going to be able to manage that? No.
You know how many customers my current competitor, or
Yeah.
not competitor, but the head of industry or market share, highest market share, they deal with 2,000 employees a day. 2,225 employees a day. I'm
Hectic.
struggling to deal with 2. Imagine.
I know.
You understand? So
know.
you have to be outside of your business to scale.
True. Okay, you spoke a little bit about AI agents, and just for clarity, we are not for AI taking jobs away
Not
from
at all.
people or replacing humans at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of people who are probably watching this episode right now are solo entrepreneurs, freelancers, people that don't have resources to invest into hiring people and getting help to build their business. And sometimes it gets really, really challenging building a business by yourself.
It is.
So, in terms of these AI agents that you've spoken about, what AI agents do you have in your company? What do they do? How did you build them? Is there a specific software or tool that you use? Yeah,
Firstly, ChatGPT.
of course.
Oh, that's our baby girl.
I know. Oh, bestie, but
It's right,
hey.
but
Don't know
was
what I'd be without
oh,
ChatGPT,
tell me
honestly.
about it. But once you can fix that part,
Yeah.
right? Then the other aspect is then finding, like, once you master ChatGPT, you realize there's so much more, right? There's Grok, there's DeepSeek, there's another one that I'm using right now, or that I'm learning right now, is in N8N, right? So it
Okay,
creates like these processes, right? So it just automates like your entire everything,
Business,
right?
yeah.
So that's what it does. So you send me an email right now about scheduling this, right? And so we created this process. I work with a friend of mine. We created this process whereby you can send me an email and then it can automatically put it in my calendar, right? Based on whether this time slot is open or not. So I work a lot on my calendar, right? And it's usually never open. So it helps me with that. So I don't have to actively be there to be like, okay, let me check this. You understand? So it does that. It's N8N. It's a whole thing to deal with, but you can watch YouTube and it can really
Yeah,
help.
yeah.
And then there's another one that we use. What's it called? Come on. You're embarrassing me, brain. Come on.
Happens. But just speaking on that, it's
Yeah.
amazing how technology has literally transformed the way that we work now and build our businesses. And in terms of that part where you spoke about how you automate your emails, so somebody sends you an email and then what happens?
So it prioritizes them.
Okay.
Yeah. So is this a priority email?
Right.
How is the deadline associated to it? And is my calendar open? So in the morning, yes, it just gives me a rundown of everything I need to do.
Nice.
Yeah, it makes my
So
life easier.
that same tool can also go into your emails, read what the email is about, and if there needs to be a meeting scheduled, goes onto your calendar, schedules it.
Yes.
And then if there are any changes that need to happen,
It then contacts
It
me
contacts
and makes it a
you.
priority.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
And it also leaves less room for error, I believe.
Exactly.
Because sometimes I double book myself.
Ooh.
And like I'm looking at the calendar, but for some odd reason let's do a date or a meeting on the same day that I've got another meeting planned with somebody else, and that happens quite a lot. So I'm definitely gonna try it out. Definitely gonna try it out.
You should.
Okay,
You should.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
N8N.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are other ones that make it much easier,
Easier.
but NAN is what we're using now.
Yeah. Okay, so for somebody who's looking to incorporate or integrate AI into their business, would you say that it's worth it versus getting a human assistant, or
Why are you putting me on the spot
Ooh.
like that?
it's a very controversial question, I know.
It is.
But I mean, we're not against having humans in our businesses, but it's also that thing where you're looking at your monthly budget. This is how much I can allocate towards something. And should I explore maybe going the AI route? Will it be easier and more efficient? Or should I, yeah,
It is cheaper.
it is cheaper.
And it is less hassle. So I deal with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Running my business means it's like 4 different businesses in one, right? That means I have to manage multiple people at once. AI has given me the chance to not have to deal with people, right? But that also means that it cuts costs. You understand? I've reduced the amount of cost that I have to put into, or the cash that I burn to run the personal brand,
Sure.
but also my business. So I really think for people who don't have the resources, for entrepreneurs who don't have the resources, it's the best thing. Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I really like that, because I think there's always been a struggle with me personally about whether or not I should just look into investing in tools, or, should I get somebody, and there's just always that back and forth, and I never get it right.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can imagine.
Yeah. So we shouldn't be scared of AI coming after our
No,
jobs. We're
no.
relatively safe.
If you if you start learning now,
Yeah.
you could still have your job, but be better than 90% of everyone, of the group. You understand? That's how you look at it. It's a tool. Someone once said that fire was just fire. It took someone using fire to make something else for us to have everything we have, basically. So it's just a tool. Use it to your advantage. Be a cyborg is what I used to say.
Yeah, be a cyborg.
Exactly.
I mean, I really, really resonate with that a lot, because looking at, for example, global freelancers and entrepreneurs versus our freelancers on this site, there's a huge gap in terms of the income that we make, the number of clients that we're able to manage at a time. And I think with them, the advantage is that they leverage technology and these tools. And we are still afraid of them. We're still scared of AI, and we're still anti-AI. A lot of people are. And it's a very sensitive topic. Like, I go on LinkedIn probably like 3 times a day, and every time I come across an AI related post, people are trying to bash it, people are against it. And I mean, I understand that there are, with anything, negative side effects, and like with anything. But also, I'm all for the good AI and how it can help.
Yeah.
We spoke about ChatGPT earlier on. It takes me like less time to research versus back then when it was just Google. Because I have to go and click on each of these blog posts and make notes and
Can you imagine?
I love that. Thank you for sharing your insights, and also just for making AI more useful as a tool, and making us less scared of using. So much for your time and for sharing these insights. We look forward to possibly having another session where we can unpack, some of the things that we spoke about more in depth. And that's it from us. So much for tuning in. If you like this video, please remember to subscribe to our channel and share this video with a friend or two. Don't be a gatekeeper. You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at collabora_hub. And thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from today.